この調子でガンガン。
あとはそこで無様に転がってなさい。二度目の吠え面ね。
Anyways, I just want to give my takes on Kaiju Episode 3, as I usually do. If you guys aren't aware, I've been covering Kaiju pretty much every week since this show aired, so I just want to give my quick thoughts on this episode because this was Kikoru's episode, and the amount of edits I've seen of this girl is kind of crazy. I knew she would probably be everyone's favorite character just because of how much screen time she gets, and while I wasn't really the biggest fan of her when she first appeared back in the manga, she kind of grew on me. She's one of my favorite characters. I'd say she's probably like second or third favorite character, with the first one being Soshiro. Like he's literally my dude. Overall, this episode was pretty good. I'd say it's pretty much a step up a notch from like the previous two episodes. Now obviously this is where the actual action begins. Okay, I said that kind of weird, but yeah, this is where the action begins. Essentially, this is the start of the training arc. If you're not aware, the training arc essentially is when Kafka and the others go through the exam and nominee. Essentially, it picks up from where the last episode ends off, where they go to the academy. They have to go through this kaiju testing in order to get into the defense corps. So essentially, this episode just kind of like focuses more on Kikoru, since it's basically her. And out of all the people in like the defense corps initiates, she's probably one of the highest with the highest combat potential. Now, the suits itself, I really love how they animated it. Like it felt a little bit cooler compared to the manga. Now obviously in the manga you can only do so much, but in the anime I really love how these suits kind of look and feel. They have this cool texture. It's almost as if it's like this, I don't know how to describe it, but I just really like the way the suits were animated and they were explained to fit and adjust to everyone body type regardless of who you are. In the manga, yeah, they did explain the same thing, but here they made it more cooler, if I'm gonna be honest. And I really love how everyone has unlocked their combat potential. Like some people are above 8% with Renos. He's like 8%. Some of the other ones are kind of higher, like a 12, 18. It's even stated in the episode that like to have people above 10% it's kind of rare, because most officers only get up to like 20% or 30% combat potential. Now Kikoru, she got like what, 48% combat potential unleashed, which is crazy because she's stated to be one of the strongest recruits, even the strongest or the most gifted mind in this generation, because of how much potential she has defeating kaiju. And even Soshiro kind of admits, this is pretty interesting. We got a bunch of new recruits this year that have like vice captain, or like they have like potential to be like on par with some of the other officers in the regular defense corps, which is really nice. And then you get my boy Kafka. Man, you gotta feel bad for Kafka. He's trying, he's really trying, because he's only at what, 0%. This has never happened. Why? We don't know. In my opinion, I take that back. I don't think it's ever like stated why he has 0 combat potential, not even in the manga if I remember correctly, but I'm speculating that has something to do with the kaiju power within him, that it kind of negates his human ability to wield the suit. I don't know, that's just my speculation, why he has 0 combat potential, or he's just that weak because he's kind of an old man. He's like what, this 30-year-old who doesn't really do like a whole lot. But then again, there's some people who are older than him, like, or who are above, who are like somewhat his age, like Mina. I can't remember what her actual combat potential is, but if she can wield the suit, I'm pretty sure Kafka can. Maybe he's just kind of a loser like that. But no, like, I just love like how the show finally gives us our first look at the suits, like how they work, how they function. Essentially, this was Kikoru's episode, her time to shine, because she was outshining everyone, man. Now, when you think about a spoiled brat, this is the type of girl you expect. Like someone who's like petty, someone who knows it all, someone who thinks, hey, I'm better than you just because I'm kind of better than you. Now, while her and Kafka have this like weird rivalry, a lot of other people in like the examinees kind of view Kafka as like, oh, he's probably just some fanboy of Kikoru. That's why they were kind of close. That's where they were acting kind of silly. Kafka denies this. It's just pretty funny interaction. Like anytime like Kikoru and Kafka interact, it's always funny, because one of the funniest parts was when Kafka like touched Kikoru's shoulder, and then the security guards just decked them. That was pretty funny. I will admit the comedy in this show continues to surprise me, because it just catches me off guard, and it's genuinely funny. Okay, so my mic kind of died, so I can't remember where I left off on this recording. But yeah, I really do like how the episode kind of gives us like our view on these characters. How Kikoru is essentially this smug type of character where she likes to show off. She's like this spoiled princess. Now we're gonna learn a little bit more of who she actually is as the episodes continue to go on, which is pretty entertaining because people at this point are kind of wondering, alright, she's kind of a, like, how do I say this? She's kind of a prick. She's kind of a know-it-all. She's kind of, oh hey, I'm that girl. She's basically at that it girl. She's that girl that thinks she's better than everyone because she's stronger, she's smarter, she looks better than just about everyone. Especially Kafka, because every time she tries to own up to Kafka, it is just funny seeing their interactions, seeing Kafka get beat up by her security team. That is funny. I will never be surprised how the comedy continues to amaze me throughout this show because I genuinely love how this show just keeps on improving. Like the animation, the quality just looks phenomenal. Especially the part where all the trainees are out in the open and then you get this cool scene of all of them. I think it's pretty well translated compared to the manga, even so much that they added like other characters in that scene specifically when they're all standing out. It looks really good. The color contrast and like how everyone looks like out in the daylight is pretty cool because anytime like this battle happened in the manga, I kind of pictured it would be somewhere like midday where it would be super kind of bright. But then again, this takes place in Tokyo where like, I don't know if it's like that. I've never been to Tokyo or never been to Japan, so I don't know how it looks when it's like super high day, but it's like super bright, because here where I live, it's like bright. I live in Texas, so like when it's sunny, it is sunny. But I do love the color contrast that it shows. Like it's not too bright, yet it's not too dark. It's like this perfect neutral tone that shows everything and everyone off. That is really nice. Now, but yeah, overall it is a pretty solid episode. I really can't wait to see how the rest of the series holds up. And the fact that each episode kind of leaves us on a cliffhanger, I don't really mind it, to be honest. Some people are kind of annoyed at it, but this is one of those series where there's always going to be like kind of a cliffhanger towards the end of the episode, and I think it's pretty cool because it leaves you wanting more. Also, before I end this video off, I do want to mention I did watch the dub because I have this tradition so far where I watch the dub or where I watch the sub when it premieres early in the morning, but later on I do watch the dub. And I gotta admit, the dub for Kafka's voice has still not grown on me. It sounds a bit too childish. I know a lot of people have been complaining about that. Me personally, I do not like it. I don't know, something about the voice just doesn't fit, in my opinion. It's not the best voice. However, Kikoru's voice and the dub version, I gotta say, man, ooh, she's, I don't know who voices her, but I love the voice. A little bit too mature for my taste. She sounds like an older woman, if I'm gonna be honest, but I kind of like it. Sounds kind of seductive or whatever, I don't know. But I also, Soshio's dub voice, I don't know, it sounds a little bit too raspy in my opinion. It sounds like, hey, so, it kind of sounds something like that. I'm not the biggest fan of the dub of Soshio, but I do like Kikoru's voice actor. Same with Renault's, but as the series goes on and I rewatch it in dub, I'll see how I feel. But yeah, that's just my quick thoughts on episode 3 of Kaiju number 8. Essentially, it was Kikoru's episode time to shine, so what did you guys think about it? Did you guys agree with me? What are your points about it? Anyways, I'll catch you guys on my next Kaiju video. Oh, also, I do want to apologize if you hear like any excessive background noise. It's because since I don't have my mic, it died. It tends to pick up everything around me. I'm using the camera mic, so yeah, that's why you might hear weird noises. Anyways,